But it seems quite unnatural for a country like Pakistan to just not have any culture, especially if it happens to be a reservoir of great ancient civilizations.
The present culture of Pakistan is continuation of the Indus civilization and Gandhara.
Pakistan has, in my opinion, one of the most enviable cultural heritage.
In fact, the culture started in Pakistan 2 million years ago. We have traces of human being in Rawat, Kotmunda in Balochistan and Bela region of Balochistan.
It is full of the most exciting, tangible cultural heritage and also intangible cultural heritage in the form of music, dance and folk art, etc., etc.
After partition, what happened especially in Pakistan, that most of the non-Muslims, Hindus and Sikhs, they migrated to India. The result was that we lost the multiculturalism, and as a result of it, when there is only one culture, when there is only one religion, of course, I think we have suffered a lot culturally as a result of the partition.
The many shades of Pakistan's rich heritage are also reflected by its multiple languages and vernaculars.
You know how many languages are spoken in Pakistan? 70. And even the linguists say there may be many more. So imagine, beyond a few languages, even our languages are not documented. Pakistan is an oral tradition. We are an unwritten culture.
English is as much a part of my culture as Urdu is. So the Pakistani society never sort of rejected those aspects. It's some ideologues, and I don't think they ever succeeded.
It was not until 1956 that the first constitution of Pakistan declared the state as an Islamic republic. Consequently, all affairs of society were brought under the microscope of religion. Social mannerisms in general and cultural activities in particular were judged strictly through the yardstick of the clergy.
Yeah, the problem with Pakistan is that once we have declared Pakistan as an ideological state, so then art and literature, they come also under the influence and under the domination of Pakistan ideology, what we call it.
If we have to mention one field in which Pakistan lost a great deal, then it had to be nothing but classical music. Arguably the greatest vocalist of the second half of the 50s, Bade Ghulam Ali Khan, had to go back to India because he was called Mirasi here.
This is a scenario that brings us to question whether Islam celebrates the ethnic and cultural diversities or denounces them altogether.
It's a rhetorical question which very emphatically brings out the anger that God feels at people who unnecessarily put curbs on the adornments, on the embellishments that God has given us, that are sort of enhanced through cultural diversity and activity. The Quran says that these are things that God has created for the believers in this world, and particularly these things are going to remain for the believers in the hereafter as well.
This is the tragedy that slowly and gradually we have lost the creativeness in all fields, art, literature, education, research, and that's why you realize that after passing nearly 61 years, we haven't produced, very good filmmaker, we haven't produced good scholars, we haven't produced good writers, we haven't produced good artists. So this is the result, of having an ideology as a state pillar.
The only thing that the Quran has prohibited, the verse goes on to say, قُلْ إِنَّمَا حَرَّمَ رَبِّيَ الْفَوَاحِشَ مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ وَالْإِثْمَ وَالْبَغْيَ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ وَأَن تُشْرِكُوا بِاللَّهِ. That what God has really prohibited is things as indecency, open indecency, and surreptitious or clandestine indecency. God has prohibited acts of sin. God has prohibited transgressions against other human beings, and has prohibited polytheism, that you associate other partners with him. These are the things that God has prohibited. Apart from these, it will be up to the society to decide. I mean, within the ambit of these things,